Today's episode is about moderating your time spent online. This is an incredibly important topic to cover, as this topic is the difference between using the internet for fun and for learning versus falling too deep into its trap. Being online too much has serious consequences, and they may seem obvious to some people. Plenty of streamers who have devoted their lives to playing video games and developing online communities have ended up becoming miserable or have had periods of extremely poor mental health due to the factors that revolve around their profession. Some examples are Deller, Etika, and Corey Kenshin. Now, I don't want to claim that it's the fault of these streamers themselves for their mental health, nor will I pretend to know everything about them or how they felt. But as someone looking from the outside, I saw Etika and Deller, for example, being negatively impacted by the people in their communities that they were surrounded by, and these communities were largely online. They likely appreciated many of their fans and the games or activities they did on stream, but that one piece of negativity, or in some cases many pieces, can stick way more than the tons of support they receive. One thing many of these streamers have in common is that they play video games. But who's to say that video games are at fault for streamers' poor mental health? Many streamers and content creators do just fine while playing games all the time, like Queso, Dashi, or Ninja. So all of this leads me to believe that it's not the games that are the problem, but the larger environment of the internet that causes issues in people's lives. And this is especially true for streamers who quit streaming but continue to play video games in their own time, like many Fortnite streamers of the past do this. So it wasn't Fortnite that made Deller deteriorate, but his community and the messages he got from his so-called fans. Sure, Fortnite was the reason his community got to where it was, but the game itself, from my point of view, was not creating the negative environment. And so as someone who was also once far too invested in the online world, as well as someone who's seen what chronic internet usage can do to people, I've gained a greater understanding of the potential harm of taking it too seriously or making it too big a part of anyone's life. And many times I've tried to quit, such as when I tried to quit social media like Instagram for the sake of cleansing myself. The problem is it didn't work. I would be excited to quit initially thinking that I'm doing something good for myself. Then soon after I'd say, okay, maybe I'll check it once a week. Then it became once a day, then it went back to normal. Of course, this is no one's fault other than my own. But it is a bit concerning that I felt such a strong pullback to social media for whatever reason. But I've learned something else now. Having tried both extremes, that being fully quitting and being fully immersed in social media all the time, I can say that I've reached a comfortable midpoint. And this midpoint truly is more comfortable than either of the extremes, at least for me. I use social media to talk to my friends and keep up with some sports news, but I don't use it to keep track of people's lives or compare myself to others, nor do I engage in extended periods of scrolling. I don't let myself spend more than 15 minutes on it at a time, since any longer will surely lead to a rabbit hole of scrolling. All I do is set my screen limit to 15 minutes a day, and that's it. Sure, I ignore it to go back on, but at least the session that I spend on it lasts 15 minutes at most. That way, I can talk to my friends without the additional hours of scrolling. So I emphasize the importance of a midpoint because a lot of times people think I need to completely quit Instagram or Twitter or TikTok and then that'll be the only way I can get better. But it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be something that you only see as evil. There are goods to social media and there are goods to the internet. It just matters about moderating how much you spend. So talking about midpoints, I've reached a similar midpoint with video games. The only difference in my experience between video games and social media is that I never explicitly tried to quit video games entirely. But at one point, I was definitely playing way too much. So the comfortable midpoint I've reached is using them only for personal enjoyment and not for feelings of self-achievement. And I only play them for a few hours at a time to prevent myself from burning out all my fuel for the day. Now, taking a mental step away from video games, and not playing them seriously and not playing them competitively anymore doesn't mean that I don't care about the game when I play anymore. or that I just have a flat effect and I don't show any emotion when I'm playing. I can still care about the win, get excited for a comeback, and get a little frustrated at the losses, but at the end of the day, I leave it all on the computer and remember that my life is not determined by superficial successes in video games, or in social media for that matter. I still value the time I play, and I still put effort into the game, but doesn't mean I take the outcome of the game personally. Instead, I remember feeling good playing games and thinking that I had fun and I let some stress out. And not that, oh, I lost and this is now the worst day ever. So my main point is I think people shouldn't take the online world too seriously. That being video games or social media in particular, at least in my case. Everyone is trying to make a good impression online. Everyone is hiding behind a screen. Some social media like LinkedIn are intentionally designed to show off your best skills and experiences. And of course, this has an obvious purpose for your professional success you want to show off to employers. But it's important to not get bogged down with what everyone else is up to and stay focused on your own goals. Of course, it's normal to feel insecure when scrolling through social media like this. Same with Instagram. Hardly anyone posts their lows on Instagram. So of course it's normal to think everyone's doing great on the surface. Sites like Reddit, especially on their college admissions subreddit, can be very toxic and make people feel terrible about themselves. Everything needs to be taken with a grain of salt. Think about why people are posting on these sites. Do they genuinely want to share their experiences, or do they want to make an impression? So don't take the internet too seriously. Don't be too invested in it. I've never regretted spending less time online, and I don't know anyone who has. I don't regret playing less video games than I used to, and I don't know anyone who has. That doesn't mean I hate either or, just means that I moderate my experience. If you're looking for a place to start with managing your time online, take a week or two off. Make an explicit comeback date. Quitting cold turkey may not be the easiest way to do it, so go easy on yourself. Just see how you feel. Take note of your behaviors. Do you find yourself instinctively opening up Instagram or video games when you're bored? Do you feel like you really want to go back? Or do you realize that you're not too bothered by missing out? If you don't feel excited to tune back in after the first week, then maybe aim for a longer break. If you're excited to come back, think about why. Whatever it is, it's important to understand yourself and why you're doing certain things. This period of reflection and introspection can make you notice some bad habits that you maybe wish you didn't have. And when you take some time off from the internet, really think about what else there is that you like to do. Learn more about yourself. If you still want to play games in the end, by all means, go ahead. But it doesn't hurt to have other hobbies as well. After all, when one hobby gets boring, you need to have others to occupy your free time. Some people I know tend to follow the 3 hobbies rule: 1 creative, 1 intellectual, and 1 physical. If that sounds appealing to you, give it a try. Take some time to enjoy other things. No one has ever regretted not playing video games or not using social media for a period of time. You're not missing out. Personally, my other hobbies are playing the violin, playing basketball and soccer with my friends, reading about history, and making this podcast. And of course, playing some video games. So, moderating internet usage is probably one of the most valuable skills you can learn as a young individual navigating the new digital age. It will have a positive impact not only on your time spent online, but also on your life in general. If you're someone who is constantly online all day long, give some of these tips a try. They may help you learn more about yourself. Baby, you gotta be mine.